Tampa. We've got a very special guest. You may have seen him on your screen giving a high five to Ryan Clifford. I believe it's David Wright. Is that the pronunciation?
Gelbs, before I forget, did you work on rolling those R's all off season? That was
oh, that's good.
Amazing job, buddy.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of people, they spend time with their family during the winter. That's what I work on. How you doing, David?
Well done. Doing great. Great to be in St. Lucie. Spring training time is my favorite time of the year, so fantastic to be here.
What is a day like for you here? What are you trying to accomplish when you're with not just the new players on the major league side, but some of these young players that are so promising?
Oh, it's been awesome. Like getting a chance to meet some of these new guys, like this new nucleus that ownership and the front office has put together, really has been kind of a shot of life to me. You know, walking through the clubhouse and seeing these guys interact with each other brings back memories from me of using this time to not only get to know each other on the field, but get to know each other personally and what makes each guy tick, and just the leadership that I've seen in this clubhouse and the energy. Just guys bouncing off the wall. So excited to get this season started.
Ground ball sneaks through for a base hit. Selfishly, David, I was hoping that went through. We don't need a quick inning here with you on the mic. I know, you may not feel the same way, but.
Hey, David, Ron Darling here.
Hey, Ronnie.
It's always been underrated. You're a great needle. You haven't lost it, even though you've been retired for a couple of years. I really appreciate that. That's one of the great joys of being a clubhouse guy, right?
That's what I miss about that's one of the things I miss about it is you get here and all of a sudden you can be mean and make fun of people and not get dirty looks.
Making fun of their clothes or whatever. Hey, I wanted to ask you something. If you've had any conversations with Bo about moving on to third base, I think it's a little more difficult than people give it credit for. But even if you haven't, what are some of the difficult things moving from in the middle of the diamond where you're seeing the ball, you're seeing the bat path, you're seeing the pitch and where it's at, as opposed to third base where you're really looking at bat angles and where the ball is hit in front of the plate and all of those things?
Ronnie, I appreciate your question so much. There's so much more intelligent than Gelbs is. So, it's fantastic that you asked that, because I literally just spent about 30 minutes with Bo, right before the game and getting to know him more on a personal level. And he was asking some great baseball questions, some great questions just about the city of New York in general. So I'm excited. I've become a big Bo Bichette fan, so I'm excited to see what he can do. This year, just the way that he carries himself, that kind of quiet swagger that he has. He knows he can play. I love watching him play, kind of what he brings to the table. And, for him to reach out and, want to talk a little shop at third base and kind of what it's like in New York just shows me how excited he is to be here.
Well, David, as the great novelist Ernest Hemingway once said,
you can't even say his name.
I couldn't even get through that. No R's to roll. That's why I couldn't get through that. David, I was listening to you a little bit talk to the media before the game today, and you were saying that some of the conversations you've had with the new coaches have really impressed you. What specifically about this coaching staff has stood out to you so far?
Well, it all starts with Mendy. Obviously, I think that calming influence that he brings, like you never know, his panic button just never gets pushed. It just seems like he's always calm, cool, collect. And I think that kind of, the players feed off of that. But just the organization and the work that they're getting in. It's not like they're out here all day, but when they're out here, they're really getting good work in. The drills that I see the infielders doing, I think to myself, man, I could have benefited from doing some of those drills. And just kind of the energy that they bring. Because like Ronnie, you've been to a million spring trainings, but, the energy level can get low in the middle of spring training. Guys are ready for the season to start. And when you have coaches that kind of bring that constant energy, it gets you excited for it, and you get more out of the drills.
David, tell me a little bit about, because I am excited. I'm going to bring my son, and we're going to go to the WBC, the final game on the 17th. Tell me a little bit about what those guys are going through, because I know you had that feeling as well as a teammate and coming together as a team.
Well, it's awesome that you're going to get to see the U.S. win the WBC.
There you go.
No, I think that, it's become so big and so fun. And now you're seeing like guys line up and raise their hand and want to be a part of this, because it is something special, to represent your country. And one of the things when I was a younger player, when I was an amateur, I always got overlooked to represent Team USA for some of these amateur, tournaments, and to finally get that and to wear USA across the front of your chest meant the world to me, and I'm glad that we're getting such great players to not only represent the United States but represent their respective countries, and that they take it so seriously and want to win this thing.
David, just to bring it full circle back to the beginning of the conversation, you talked about this new nucleus and how impressed you were and excited you were and energized you were. But what is the challenge or the approach in a spring where there are so many new faces to come together as one unit as you head north?
Well, I mean, I think that it's, I kind of compare it to a little bit of first day of school where, you have so many great players kind of coming together in one clubhouse, that may or may not know each other before this spring. So not that every player is fighting to be the alpha or every player is fighting to be the leader, but everybody wants to impress everybody. So, everybody's effort level is high, everybody's energy is high, and I think that guys feed off of that. The young players see that and they're like, okay, man, if Peralta is going out and doing this thing and getting that work in the gym, I'm a young pitcher, I need to go get that work in and do it in the gym. Or if a young player sees Francisco Lindor out there getting extra reps in, it's like, okay, because I was that young player and I remember seeing Mike Piazza, I remember seeing these guys, Carlos Beltran, get these extra reps in, and I was like, okay, if they're doing it, me as a young player, I surely need to do it, and that's contagious, and I think that's what I've seen over the last couple of days.
David, most ex-players become the coaches, not the managers of the teams that their kids play on, because they don't want to deal with the parents. How do you hold your lip when the manager says something that doesn't make sense?
Well, the good news for me, we got to pick off.
Aaron throw, so into second base safely. Go on.
The good thing for me is that I'm the head coach for my kids' team. So if people got a problem with it, they come to me, and it's not like I have a lot of expertise in the area of life. The one thing I got expertise in is sports, and in particular baseball. So if I want to be questioned in baseball, I think I'm gonna, not in a cocky way, but I'm gonna have the upper hand of that conversation.
Tell me that somebody has done it. Tell me that there has been one parent.
Not yet, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm getting a little ornery in my old age, and I'm looking for some, I want to be a little more combative. So I want somebody to step to the plate.
Well, listen, David, I'm sure you've got a reservation for dinner with Dave Raccanello. Just make sure he pays tonight. We'll let you go.
Well, he should be warming up a pitcher or doing something, productive instead of just eating the spread already. But, you never know. But, yeah, guys, it's always a pleasure. Steve, Ronnie, you guys are the best. And, it's always great catching up.
Well, right back at you, David. Great seeing you. Be well. We'll talk soon.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Nobody better.
He's just amazing. Not only as an ex-great player, but as a human being. You can see why you can see why he was the captain. He'd be a leader. He'd be a CEO of a company if he had decided to do something outside of baseball as well.
And it was great to see after Clifford crossed home plate in that last inning, David Wright was on the top step, ready to give him a high five. Imagine being Ryan Clifford, having David Wright welcome you into the dugout.
Imagine having your number retired, a Mets Hall of Famer, and you stay for the night game. That's special.